Good afternoon and welcome to this year's College Prep Seminar. I'm Roshelle Jones, psychology instructor here at Aiken Technical College. And the purpose of this session is to promote success in college. It's pretty much the same focus and purpose every year, so I wanted to sort of keep that going. I'm definitely happy to introduce to you my student panel. We have Jada Walker, and Jada's going to tell you what school she's attending and her professional career goal.
All right, hey everyone, my name is Jada Mackenzie Walker. I'm currently a high school senior at Aiken High School, as well as a dual enrolled student at Aiken Technical College, where I will be graduating with my associate's degree in May. I plan on attending North Carolina A&T in fall 2021.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and then we have Daylan Abney.
Hey everybody, my name is Daylan Abney. I'm a sophomore at Aiken Technical College, and I'm also in the Complementary program, and I will be graduating in May with my associate's degree in arts education. And in August of fall 2021, I plan to transfer to University of South Carolina Aiken to get my bachelor's.
Okay, you want to be a teacher, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. He's in the Call Me Mr. program. Awesome. Okay, and then Danielle.
Hey, my name is Danielle James, and I'm currently a student at Grand Canyon University, getting my master's in student affairs, higher education. I got my bachelor's degree from Voorhees College in Technical College.
Danielle, could you repeat that again? It was a lot of static. I don't know if you all could hear that clearly. Could you repeat that for us again?
Absolutely. I'm currently at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. I graduated from Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina, and I attended Aiken Technical College.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And of course, you say your professional career goal is to work in higher ed and student affairs?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, wow, look at this. I'm just so excited. And also too, just to mention, all of these students have been students of mine. Well, currently, Jada and Daylan are currently students of mine. And of course, Danielle was a student of mine when she was a student here at Aiken Tech. So this is just awesome. I think this is the first time I've had a student panel where all the students were students of mine that I've actually taught before. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'm also excited that we're able to represent a high school, 2-year and 4-year colleges with this student panel. So hopefully these student experts, will be able to share their experiences where their peers can relate to them. Because a lot of times people don't always want to hear from the seasoned, colleagues or people that's been in education for a while. They want to hear from their peers. So we're really hoping that this information that they share can definitely, inspire, motivate, encourage, uplift, any student that may be having some challenges or whatever that may be, just with the things that we're going to be discussing today. So thank you all so much for that introduction. The focus for this year is going to be on mentality, basically how we think, while we're learning, or how we think and learn, and our well-being. Basically with that, how do we manage stress while we're learning? So we're going to talk about some of those things with the topic. And our topic for this year is, are you mentally prepared for college? Are you mentally prepared for college, or are you mentally ready for college? So I'm going to be asking the student panel a few questions, and then they're going to provide their experiences based on the content. So the first question is, what does being mentally prepared for college mean to you? And we'll start with Jada.
Well, the definition to be mentally prepared for college to me means being able to have time management skills, be able to balance social life and your schoolwork life. And if you work, balancing work life, and also being open to learning new things, not being so enclosed in like a box and not wanting to like learn from others and, grow from others. So yeah, that's my definition.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jada. Daylan?
What I would say about that, is you be open to new things, in new environment with different people. So everything will be, new to you. And I would say not be devastated when you come across different situations or tough times, and always stay focused.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Danielle?
Well, I think it means being focused and putting your time management skills into effect. It's so easy to lose focus when you start, as a freshman in college. So just remain focused and know that what you're there for a degree, and just, remain focused or whatever.
Okay, awesome. I think that was valuable information because, again, what Jada mentioned about having that balance, that is so, I totally agree with that. Currently, I've had many students that will reach out to me, even, in the past, in reference to trying to maintain balance. And a lot of times that's easier said than done, because if you're a college student, plus if you're working, if you have other, responsibilities that you have, sometimes it's hard to maintain that balance, but when you can find the time and find your schedule that fits you, that's definitely awesome. And then, like Daylan was saying too, just being open to new things, especially for traditional college students. This may be your first college experience. So it may be something that you're used to when you were in high school. It may be something totally new. And you may feel like, okay, when I was in high school, I had a schedule, basically 8 to 2, 8 to 3. I'm in college now. So of course I may go to class, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I may not have any 8 o'clock classes. So that's something new you're going to have to adjust to. In addition to that, you may have classes where you may have exams all the same time, the same day, full-time student plus working as well as some of those other things, or working part-time, going to school full-time. So just being open to some of those new things. I thought that was valuable information. And then, like Danielle was saying, staying focused, and we're going to get into that question, in a minute in reference to what you would have done, now based on when you first started as a college student, because if you don't have good time management skills, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to fall behind. And sometimes students say, oh, I'll just catch up, during spring break, or I'll just catch up, during a break. And sometimes that's hard to do. So that's some great information as far as that, that mentality and based on how you think and you learn. Okay, the next question is, what has been the most challenging thing for you as a college student? Jada, we'll start with you.
Okay, so the most challenging thing for me as a college student, okay, I'm still young, I'm 17 years old. So my friends will be out having fun, going shopping, and want to do other things. And, I would be tempted to oh, I want to go shopping with them, but I would have my college work to do. So what I would do is kind of have time aside for my studies and have a little bit of time, free time for social media, hanging out with friends, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just learn to have time, have balance.
And again, that's perfect, because of course, she understands. I'm sure she's having her share of fun too, whenever she can. But of course, she knows what her responsibilities are. So she has to maintain that balance to be a successful student. And I do want to congratulate you and Daylan being on the dean's list. I did see that. That's awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. Okay. What about you, Daylan? What's been the most challenging thing or things for you as a college student?
I would say, basically what Jada is saying, sometimes you do be tempted, hang with family members, different friends. So that's why I try to make time, it's time to have fun. It's time, be serious with your work. So that's basically what I'm agreeing with. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Daylan. And what about you, Danielle?
Well, my most challenging thing would be when I first started Voorhees College. I had to pay almost half of my tuition on my own. So it was kind of hectic, applying for all those scholarships and talking to family, whatever, trying to get the money to, accommodate that. So that was very difficult.
Oh, yes. Finances are huge. That's one of the things I usually incorporate in those seminars that I usually do every year, because that's very important to not only the students, but also the parents and guardians that's helping you throughout your college life. So finances can definitely be challenging. We have so many students that just want to be so successful in their classes, getting their degree. But sometimes those finances is what's really holding them back. So that definitely can be a challenge. Okay, thank you. The next question. Before college and now, what would you do differently to prepare for college, if anything? Jada?
Well, I wouldn't have done anything differently. I feel like I'm on the right path, especially me being young and being so motivated to get, complete ACE Tech at a young age. I advise most high school students to take AP classes and definitely do enrollment classes. If your school offers dual enrollment your sophomore year, I advise you to take those dual enrollment classes because that will really help you. Also, applying for scholarships is a big thing. Like Ms. Rochelle said, finances can be a burden to your education. So I advise people to do scholarships every day. If not every day, just do it once or twice a week. It'll help you in the future.
Awesome. And I definitely agree with everything that Jada just mentioned, because the right path, that's like everything. Because, and for me, I always tell my students too, I believe that exposure, what you've been around, and your experience, what you do, really impacts who we become, as adults, whatever, once we get on that particular path. So based on your exposure and your experience, if you have people exposing you, to, what it takes to be a successful student, if you have people putting you in the right positions or the right places where you can actually experience some of those things, it may not be that much of a challenge to you, because you may feel like this is expected. This is what I'm supposed to do because I want to be successful in college. So I know it's going to take a lot of work. So definitely, being on that right path is awesome. And then of course, scholarships, again, going back to that financing, is also very important. What about for you, Daylan, before and now?
I don't think I would have changed anything differently because, I feel like, I'm staying focused. But one thing I would tell students, like what Jada said, apply for many scholarships as you can. And also while you're in, high school, try to gain a relationship with, different counselors and different people, in different colleges. So you have a better understanding of what you want to do in life and what your profession want to be.
Okay, awesome. Networking is the key. It's good to establish those connections early on. And of course, if you all have seen it in my past college prep seminars or workshops that I've had, you've heard my story. And I'm not even going into that today. You heard my story. So of course, for me, I was not prepared. So just to be able to look at these young, faces, and, you all are ready, you all are in the right direction and moving in the right direction. That just makes my heart so happy. Just knowing that, you all are basically like, look, Ms. Jones, I can run this seminar. I can basically teach it because I'm ready. I'm on the right path. But of course, that's great. Utilizing those resources early on, applying for those scholarships early on, because that's definitely a plus. Awesome. Danielle?
I would have did my high school, my teenage years, I would have did that differently. Like, I didn't take my education serious at all. And like when I got out the house, I kind of was just, my mama raised us to be really holy and in the church. So when I got out of the house, I kind of did my own thing. I wanted to try all this stuff. So I think I would have took advantage of my teenage years a little bit better.
I didn't hear the last part of it. It was a little dragging there. Could you repeat that again for me, Danielle?
Yeah, I was just saying I would do my teenage years differently and do it a little bit better and stay focused and whatnot, because I wasn't focused at all. So when I finally got, graduated high school, I kind of just partied and, hung out instead of, taking my books and stuff seriously. Now I know, I need to do that, I know better now, but before I didn't. So I would have,
she was enjoying that freedom. She loved that freedom. I understand. Okay, awesome. The next question. What is or has been your best experience or best experiences as a college student?
I would say one of my best experiences of being a college student is a flexible schedule. In high school, it's like a structured schedule from 8 o'clock to 3:30, but in college, you have, I have this class on Monday, or I have this class on Tuesday. It's more spaced out. So with that being said, I was more flexible with, like I said earlier, hanging out with my friends, working like 20, 25 hours a week at my job, or spending time with my family, and, also being able to study too. So
Okay.
the flexibility is what I like.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Daylan?
One of my best experiences about college was meeting new people, from different cities and different connections. And also making your own schedule, because when you want to go to school, what time you want to have class, that's what I like.
That's awesome, isn't it? Oh my goodness, that's just so awesome knowing you can just go to class Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday, or not, not Monday through Friday. I mean, that's just, you talk about flexibility. That's awesome as a college student. Okay, Danielle, best experiences or experience.
Well, my best experience obviously was graduating with my bachelor's degree and becoming a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. That was very memorable, and I loved it. So.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, even with pledging on campuses, of course, sometimes that can be, have its own little, set of things that you may have to deal with as well, which is a big responsibility, but you did it. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
While you were in college. So that's awesome. And now pursuing a master's degree, I'm just so proud of you. Okay, awesome. Okay, and then the last question here. When you talk about support, I mentioned support earlier, it's good to have that support system. And also, just like to always recognize, special people in our lives, because you all, I'm so impressed with you all. You're doing great. You're on the right path to success. But in doing that, who would you like to thank, for your experiences, whether they've been positive or, I don't like to say the word bad, positive or not so positive, who would you like to thank for your experiences that you've had as a college student, leading you on your way towards success?
I would definitely like to thank my mama, Celisa Walker. If it wasn't for her encouragement and pushing me to where I'm at, push me to be my best, I would not be where I'm at today. I would also like to thank my guidance counselor, Miss Tracy McBride, and my old principal, Mr. Kofer.
Awesome. Well, I hope they'll hear this. I hope they hear it. Awesome. Thank you. I know your mom will. Okay, Daylan.
I also would like to thank my advisor, Miss Walker, because she has helped me stay on the right track. She's been helping me since my freshman year, since I came at Aiken Tech. She has been a really big supporter behind me. My old guidance counselor at Aiken High, Miss Bright, I would like to thank her as well. And even my support system, my family, and everybody else.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Daylan. And Danielle?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to thank God for seeing it fit for me to achieve what I've achieved thus far. And my mom, of course, for the prayers that she prayed every night. So I definitely, thank her for that. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to my mentor, Miss Roshelle Jones.
Oh, thank you.
For motivating me to become who I am today. And I'm just thankful.
Oh, no, you're gonna make me cry, girl. Don't do that. But thank you so much. I mean, and I've been mentoring Danielle for a while, and I love every minute. Just to be able to see her growth and her progression, throughout the years is just awesome. I'm just enjoying watching you grow and do that. And even with that, like I said before, thank you all for that. Thank you all for your input, for your content that you provided to go along with the topic today. And I know I mentioned before that the focus, of course, was going to be on mentality and well-being. So to kind of tie what you all were talking about into that, as far as well-being, when I talked about support, like you all just mentioned, you were thinking your family, possibly, people that were included in your schools. It can be anybody. It's good for people to have a good support system. Whether it's family, friends, classmates, even your schools. Your schools provide a lot of resources. So just imagine if you wanted to go to school and you felt like it was no one there to help you. That's definitely going to, distract your well-being. That's going to interfere with you having a healthy well-being. So just knowing that support is out there. So definitely utilize support, from those that's going to do it in a healthy way. Even when you handle stress, some stress can be good stress. All stress is not bad. Some stress can be good stress. But of course, if it is something that's going to be a challenge in a negative way or making you overwhelmed and frustrated, first you want to be able to identify what the stress is, what the stressor is. And once you identify that, being able to find coping mechanisms and deal with how to manage that particular type of stress. And sometimes it's good to take a break. And we know sometimes, of course, some college students, just may feel just like it's just too much. This is just too much going on. It's okay to take a break sometimes. Just take a break, just get yourself together, because your well-being is also important. Even with your mindset or your mentality that I was talking about as well. Choices. You all mentioned that already. When you think about your mentality, how you think and how you learn, when you decide to become a college student, that's your choice to do that. And when you do that, you have a choice of what major you want to go into once you've decided, want to declare the major. You have a choice on, what classes you want to take. Well, most of the time, you usually have to follow your curriculum, but you do have a choice on what classes you want to take, what semester that is. I say, I may want to take this class this semester, maybe take the other one in the summer. That's a choice that you have. Even when you're taking classes, a lot of classes now are virtual or online. What if you were a student that just didn't do well with online courses? But guess what? What if all of your classes are online and you don't like online classes? You definitely have to find ways to make that work for you. Set yourself a schedule, definitely reach out to your instructors and your professors to make sure that you don't fall behind, because it's easy to fall behind in online classes. It's so easy if you have discussion board postings like, oh my goodness, I forgot last week. Now I have this week to do, and of course I have another week coming up. So it's so easy to fall behind. But again, you have those choices to make when you want to set your schedule. I know you all mentioned it earlier, good time management. Jada mentioned that. Danielle mentioned that. That's definitely a key component, of course, to having that healthy mindset. And then how you want to relate to situations. I think Daylan mentioned this earlier when he was talking about being open to new things. A lot of times there are going to be a lot of things that you haven't experienced before as a college student versus when you were in high school. So you want to be open to those situations and just be realistic. In my mind, I always assume and just say, everybody can go to college. If you want to go to college, you can go. You can go and you can be successful. That's just me. That's just how I feel. But realistically, I know that's not the case. College is not for everyone. For those that want to go to college and want to be successful, we want to make it successful for you too. We want you to be successful in doing that. But we also want you to be realistic. If you know that you're not going to do a full-time course load and be successful in it, don't take 4 classes. Don't register as a full-time college student if you know you're not going to put that commitment in. Because you may have 4 classes, you may have 4 exams all in the same day, all in the same week. You may have 4 papers or assignments that's due all at the same time, and you may not like to write papers, but you may have to do 4 papers for 4 classes. So, that's like a huge wake-up call, especially if you want to be successful. So those things kind of go along with your mindset and your mentality and your well-being, especially if you want to be successful as a college student. Any final thoughts or any final messages that you all want to send to the audience or to your peers or to any student that may be, I'm just not motivated, I don't know what to do, or anything you want to share? Any final thoughts to anyone listening?
I have something to say. I always, when I was an undergrad, of course, I used to always read Philippians 4:13, and it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Danielle, say that one more time. You're going in and out.
A lot of hard times. So, okay. I always read Philippians 4:13, and it states, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it got me through a lot of hard times during undergrad. So, just keep that in mind and read it every day if you can. So, it'll help you as well.
Awesome. And that's my daughter's favorite scripture too. She loved, that's her favorite scripture. Even as a child, she was like, she would just feel so much better just knowing if she was struggling with confidence or just something she had to do in school where she just felt like she couldn't do it. she would use that scripture. That was her favorite scripture that she would say. Awesome, awesome. Okay, awesome. Anyone else wanted any last final thoughts, final words? No obligation.
I would like to say, surround yourself by like-minded people. That's also very helpful to keep you motivated.
Yes, surround yourself by like-minded people. I like that. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Anything for you, Daylan? And you just like, I'm okay. I'm good.
I would like to say to different students, continue to stay focused. Surround yourself around positive people. Don't never let negative people get in your ear about anything that you want to do or what know how you want to do it. And basically that's basically it. And Philippians 4:13 is my favorite scripture too. That
Okay,
give me
awesome.
through. So yeah.
Awesome. I mean, it's powerful, powerful. And the last thing that I just want to say, I want to thank my student panel for their awesome, of course, feedback for this session here. I want to thank Jada Walker, our future speech pathologist. I want to thank Daylan Abney, our future teacher. I want to thank Danielle James, our future higher education worker in student affairs. I just want to thank you all for just being a part of this and being willing to participate. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And what I like to tell my students is to continue to be great. Thank you.